Namaskaram students. Now we are going to step into the international business. So far what are all the things we have discussed? We have discussed about the internal trade, international trade, and also in the previous chapter we have dealt with the various types of trade, export trade, import trade, and the entry import trade. So in the present chapter we are going to deal with the international business. See, this international business, how can we know the India's international business? Through the evidences, we can see the literature. So if we can see the Sangam literature, we came to know what are all the international business we have done. Then the various pieces of literature there, enormous evidence about the India's foreign trade with other countries. Evidence about our international trade are found in the ancient literature of our country, particularly in the Sangam literature. So there were regular trade routes across the seas to the different districts, Java, Sumatra, and island in the east, and up to the Arabian Peninsula in the west. So east, west. So all the four directions we have did the international business. So after the British rule, what is the? But the volume of such trades was insignificant and continued to remain so small. Although the Middle Ages and right up to the advent of the British rule in India, up to the British rule. So it is only after the establishment of British rule in India that India's foreign trade took a different shape. So some important international sea routes already have studied in 10th standard. Before 18th century, salt route India to Egypt. There was a salt route and silk route China to India, and spice route India to Europe. Spice route we have taken Vasco da Gama and Columbus. He has taken the pepper and instead of that he has given the chili. So that is a spice route, silk route, everything we have learned in the 10th standard. Then what is international trade? So international trade is inevitable, isn't it? No country is self-satisfied. So all the countries want to get from the resources want to get from the other country. Even the socialistic countries like USSR, China, all the countries, they must rely on the other country. So let us see about the international trade. So international trade has become inevitable when after the Second World War, since no country remains self-sufficient in terms of all the resources are available in the country. So whatever they must rely on the other country. So all the resources are not possible in that same country. In terms of there is we can see currently functioning independent closed system. Even the socialistic countries like USSR, China are now taking a concrete steps to capture foreign market for the product abundantly produced in their countries. So these countries also they are going to give their product in the foreign market. So the international business will become a part and parcel of our life, because today we are living in a globalized world, isn't it? Wherever we can market the product. So in this situation, today it is enormous, something beyond we are moving. So international business is a part and parcel of the life. Now let us see about the nature of international business. With example, let us see what is the nature of international business. Countries across the world, these are endowed with natural resources of various kinds. Various kinds of natural resources are there, isn't it? So because of resource mobilization, see, one country is having the See, but no single countries across the world are endowed with natural resources of various kinds, but no single country uniquely possesses all natural resources required for its people. Due to varying climate conditions, the varying climate conditions prevailing in different countries, and also varying in the climatical conditions and prevailing across the world, because of certain resources are available abundantly in some countries, while these resources may not exist or may not be available to required extent in other parts of our country. See, for example, in Gulf, they are rich in petroleum products. So this situation, which situation paves way for the international business? Because of this situation paves the way for international business. See, in other words, we can tell that countries with surplus resources have to exchange with their countries for its deficit resources. See, countries with surplus resources, they are going to exchange their same surplus resources for their essential resources. So in Gulf country, they have petroleum products. They are rich, super rich in petroleum resources, but they do not have any other essential resources needed for human existence. For that, hence, they have to exchange the surplus petroleum resources to buy the other essential resources. From where they are going to buy? From other countries where the resources are available abundantly. So they are going to give the petroleum to the other country. Instead of that, they are going to purchase the essential resources to their country. So this is how the international business is developing. Then let us move on to the similarly, the same situation, some advanced countries produce goods and services of good quality of affordable prices. They are using the sophisticated techniques. Advanced countries will use lot of technical know-how. Technologically driven people are there in the USA, all the Western countries. Whereas in the developing and least developed country, there is a limited technical know-how. Because of this situation, the developing countries and least developed countries cannot afford to produce those goods with their limited technical know-how. In such a case, what we are going to do? We must purchase the product from the international countries. So, we are in a position, this enables the countries to buy those goods from the advanced countries. So this is the main reason, and this makes it necessary for international business. Advanced countries are producing more technical driven products, because whereas the least and underdeveloped countries, we are lacking in the technical know-how. Technologically we are very bad, so that we have to purchase the product which is technically advanced to our country. So this is the reason we are doing the international business. So in nutshell, I will tell that is uneven distribution of natural resources across the world and specialization attained by certain countries in the production of certain product, so that push those countries to exchange goods and services. So that country, we have to push the country to exchange that product with other countries. So this is the exchange, a warrant international trade or international business. So today, which world we are living? We are living in a globalized world, where the obstacles to the exchange of goods and technology have been substantially reduced, because wherever we can exchange, due to the advancement of technology of the national economies, are becoming borderless and getting progressively integrated into the world economy. So the contemporary world is called as, this is called as global village. We are living in a world is called as a global village because everything we can change, everything in our window, the world is in our hand through the mobile phone, isn't it? So, business in today's context, you think of the business in today's context, it is not restricted to we are not doing the business in the mere boundaries, but also to expand the boundaries of several other countries. Due to the tremendous development in the information technology and communication technology, there was a tremendous growth in the information and communication technology, and also the rapid advancement in the transportational system. There is more and more firms engaged in international business, which present with them with numerous opportunities for their, what is the consequences, what is the growth, it will foster the economic growth and development, it will increase the gains of the nation. So, what is the main reason, what is the vital role? So, India has been trading with other countries fairly for a long while. India is trading with other countries from the Sangam age. For a long period, India is trading the international business for a long while. So that it has played a vital role in international business from the ancient period. But it is not yet considerably speeded the process of integrating the world economy, phenomenally increased in foreign trade and also investment. So now only the foreign trade investment, because of the liberalization, privatization, globalization, the former Prime Minister, he has bring the rule, that is new economic policy was given by our former Prime Minister in the year 1991. After that only the foreign direct investment will be in India. So let us see about this in detail. The new economic policy, the former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Narendra Manmohan Singh, is considered as the architect of Indian economic reforms, who introduced the liberalization in India in the year 1991. After that only the international business and also the foreign trade investment was flourished in our India. So let us move on to the concept of international business. See, today world, in which world we are? We are in the globalized world, isn't it? We are doing the business in a globally we are doing the business. So let us get into the concept of international business. Today business is growing globally, and the need for business is, what is the need for business? Pushing a large number of business firms into the world market beyond their historical and traditional boundaries. So, a global corporation is gaining an increasing acceptance in the business community. What they are comparing? Compared to corporation operating within the geographic limit of a country. So, they are comparing the geographic limit of the country with the other country. That kind of comparison, the persons. So, these companies are termed as multinational company. Which company we are telling as a multinational company? The company which is global corporation, we call it as a multinational company, or other name we call it as transnational company. So, what are all the company? How they will operate? So, this company operate on the principles that the world is their field of operation. So, which principle they are operating? These companies are operating. The world is at their field of operation. So, what are the globally nationalized global corporation company? That is Shell, Unilever, Nestle. These are all the companies, global corporation companies. Why we are telling this as a global corporation company? The reason behind is they cannot be labeled because it is one is produced in French and another one is produced in German, another one is produced in Dutch. Each and every product is produced in different countries. So they cannot be labeled as a French or German or Dutch or Swiss company product. So these companies have no real domestic market, so that we call it as a global company, global corporation. So people of many different nationalities are managing, operating these corporations on day-to-day basis. Day-to-day we are getting the Nestle product. Day-to-day we are getting the Unilever product, isn't it? So their product are sold around the world through their operating. How they are operating? Through their subsidiary functions. And in also in the various countries the product is available. Let us move on to the international business, which involves across the national boundaries. International business, which not only they are transferring their technology, managerial knowledge, and also they are transferring the capital to other countries. See, international business involves transactions across the national boundaries, isn't it? It includes what? It includes transfer of goods and services, they are transferring the technology, they are transferring the managerial knowledge, and also the capital. So, to which countries? To other countries, they are transferring all these to the other countries, so that we call it as an international business. So although business has been conducted on an international scale for many years, so international business has gained, what is the gain? Has gained more significance. Many years we have been the international business. Only in the recent years, past 10 years only, there was a very much importance because of the when the international business will emerge, because of the MNC company, because of the MNC corporation in some of the developing countries, so that the international business was emerged. Then, what is the meaning of international business? International business means doing the business beyond the geographical limit area. So, international business which takes place beyond the geographical limit of the country, and also it involves not only the international, we are not only moving the goods and services, but also the what are all the things we are moving? We are moving the capital personnel and also technology, intellectual property. What are all the intellectual property? Already you know, that is patent, copyright, isn't it? That is called intellectual property, patent, copyright, trademark. These are all intellectual property. We are getting the ISO mark, so that is a trademark. So that is intellectual property, technical know-how, copyright. These intellectual property also we are giving to the other country. That is called international business. Definition, which is given by John D. Daniels: undertaking the business transaction. We are undertaking, according to John Daniels, international business means what? It is all business transaction, whether it is a private or it is a government, that involves 2 or more countries. We are going to do the business in 2 or more countries. We are going to do the business, and whether it is a private company undertaking, private companies undertake such transaction for what? For a profit motive. Government may or may not do the same in their transaction. So the private company company are doing only the international business for the profit motive. Now, what are the methods of conducting the international business? Already we have discussed about the export trade, import trade, intra-import trade, franchising, outsourcing, everything we have learned, isn't it? So first one is exporting and importing. What is meant by exporting? It denotes selling of goods and services from home country to the foreign country. See, what is meant by export? It denotes similarly, import means we are purchasing the goods from the foreign country to the home country. Then, what is meant by contract or outsourcing? See, firm enter into the contract from the local to the foreign countries. Already we have seen that core activities are given or concentrating by the people, and non-core activities are left to the outsourcing person, isn't it? So what is meant by outsourcing? This is also a type of international business where a firm enter into the contract with one or few local manufacturers in foreign countries. For what reason they are going to enter into the contract? To get certain, in order to get certain component. What is the component of goods produced according to its specification? Whatever according to its specification, according to the country's specification, they are going to take a contract of that company. So outsourcing means what? Outsourcing means the core business. Core business means what? Production alone. They can concentrate only on the production. So the remaining thing, maintaining the garden, maintaining the restroom, everything, housekeeping will be given to the other person. For what reason they are doing this one? To develop their production. So it is also called outsourcing or contract manufacturing. See, local manufacturers in foreign countries, few local manufacturers in foreign countries, they will get the outsourcing in order to get the certain component according to their wish. Then licensing and franchising. Licensing, the firm can access. See, franchising means what? We are getting the royalty from the franchisee. For that we have to pay the royalty amount. The royalty amount alone will be very high. So remaining the business operations will be looked after by the franchisee. That is called licensing and franchising. Licensing is a contractual agreement wherein one firm grants access to, the firm is giving the grant access to plant the new firm, and they can give the trade secret, and they will give the technological requirement to the other firm. Whether the other firm in a foreign country means they will give technological equipments to other country, and they will give a trade secret also how to do the business. Already in the franchising lesson we have studied. They will give the assistance, they will give training to that employee, franchisee employee. So the firm, what are all the examples? Pizza Hut and also McDonald's. For they are giving all this kind of support, isn't it? For that reason, the franchisee will collect the fees. That fees we call it as a royalty. So all the assistance are given by the franchise company, isn't it? For that reason, the franchising company is going to collect the fees. That fees name is called royalty. What are all the examples? Pizza Hut and McDonald's. The firm which grants such permission is called, they are granting the permission. So they are granting the permission and they are going to form a new firm, that is called a franchisor or licensor. And other firm to whom the license is granted is called licensee or franchisee. Who is giving the license? Who is getting the license and forming the company? We call it as a licensee and franchisee. Then next one is joint venture. Joint venture means what? A person, two persons join together and doing the So joint venture is a business agreement wherein the parties agree to develop a new entity. They are going to start a new business, and assets, how they are going to subscribe the assets to equity shares, and how they are going to exercise the control. They are going to control over the enterprises, and consequent upon that they are going to share the revenue and expenses and also the assets. So it can be established under three ways they can establish the joint venture. See, foreign investor buying an interest in local company. We can foreign investor buying a local company. Otherwise, three ways of joint ventures are there. Local firm acquiring the interest in the existing foreign firm. Local firm can acquire the existing foreign firm. Local firm acquiring the existing foreign firm. We can acquire the firm, already existing firm. That both the foreign and local firm join together and forming a new enterprises. Both the foreign firm and the new firm, foreign firm and local firm join together and start a new company. We call it as a joint venture. Then foreign direct investment. So what is the foreign direct investment? Already I have told you. It was established, it was bring by our former Prime Minister. Because of the liberalization, privatization, there is no retailism in the government policy. So foreign can directly come and invest in our India so that our economy will develop. Then foreign direct investment by a company, it will be made by a company or individual in one country. In the business interest, we can invest in another country in the form of either establish a new business operation, whether we can implement in one country, or we can establish our business operation in another country. We can either establish a new business operation or we can acquire business assets in other countries. So what is foreign direct investment means what? One country, because otherwise one individual, single person can invest in foreign currency. So foreign direct investment means investment made by a company, whether the company can make investment in the foreign or else individual in one country in the business interest in another country in the form of either establishing a new business firm. We can start our business firm in the foreign also, so that we can invest in the foreign direct investment. We can, for example, I am having my business concern in Madurai. If I have the interest to establish my business in USA or Japan, so that I can establish the business. So that is called foreign direct investment. We can acquire new business assets in another country. We can purchase the new business assets in the other country. These are all the methods of conducting the international business. Then let us move on to the features of international business. Let us move on to the features. What are all the features? Involvement of countries. Involvement of countries. What is first one? Let us discuss one by one. Involvement of countries. That is international countries. Business can take place only when transaction occurs across the different countries. Across the different countries. All the countries must involve in their business. Then only it is possible to do the international business. Then use of foreign currency. They are going to exchange the foreign currency. Different type of country they are going to involve in. So they have to exchange lot of goods and services in their particular currency. So where countries trade with one another, it has to exchange the goods and services on the basis of the foreign currency. With respect to that concerned country currency only they can change do the foreign currency, do the exchange of goods and services. Then legal obligations. The policy of the country, whatever the policy, export policy and import policy, foreign trade is conducted strictly in accordance with the export and import policy of the country. Whatever the country concerned, depending upon that particular country export policy and import policy, they are going to implement. So the consent of the government, that particular country, consent of the government is to be mandatory, obtained with reference to the export and import of certain goods and services. Whether the certain goods is export, whether it is eligible to export or whether it is eligible to import, that they have to get a consent from the particular concerned government. Otherwise, that goods will not be exported and will not be imported. So that government intervention is there in respect of the international business. So the government will interfere in the business. What are all the goods you are exporting, what are all the goods you are importing, it should be with the consent of the government only. We have to send it to the international business. Then exposure to risk. Risk is involved. Even though the export business and import business, we are going to send the goods to the long travel, isn't it? So what are all the things we will take into the consideration? Long distance, fluctuation of currency. So international business imposes huge risk on the parties due to long distance, fluctuation of value of currency, and then obsolescence. We placed the order before 3 months. After 3 months, the order was become obsolete. Obsolete means the new product will come, it will become old one. Then sanction. Sanction means already it was sanctioned but we did not receive the product. So if there is any war between the other country and our country, so these are all the risks between the risk in the international business. And then heavy documentation. So the number of documentation should be fulfilled. All the requirements of the international, that particular country currency and particular country's document, they have to fulfill. The international business, it is necessary to fulfill a lot of formalities. What parties to international business have to execute a number of documents in the matters of conducting the international business. Both the parties, they are from different countries, they have to fulfill their country's norms and we have to fulfill other countries' norms also. So many documents are, we have to fulfill the documents. Then only we can do the international business. Then difference in the economic environment. See, lot of, there is a institutional setup, different institutional setup. Then legal formalities are different. And depending upon the monetary, physical and also monetary policy, production availability, it also take into the matter. So the economic environment of country involved international business differs significantly in the terms of legal framework, institutional setup, monetary, physical and commercial policy, resource availability, product technique availability. These are all the things we will take into the matter in the international business. So we have to satisfy all the conditions. Then only we can do the business. Because each and every country is very, the economic environment is different from each and every country. So these are all the features we have discussed. What are all the features? Involvement of countries. All the various countries are involving. Then only we can do the business, international business, and we are going to exchange the goods and services in that particular foreign currency. Legal obligations. So many countries are doing import and export policies. In that country, which country we are importing or exporting, that particular country government, we have to will interfere in the subject matter of the export and import of goods. we have to satisfy the government rules and regulations, then only we can do the import and export business. Definitely the government will interfere in the legal application of the business. Then exposure to this, we are sending the import and export product, international business will take into the consideration of we are sending the goods in the long distance and fluctuation of currency, obsolescence, sanction, war. Is there any war between our country and other country? So this also risk, we are taking the risk in the international business. Then heavy documentation, number of documents are not fulfilled because each and every country documentation procedure are different. We have to fulfill the document procedures, then only we can do the international business. Home country and host country, both the country want to fulfill the same procedures. Then different in economic environment, not only in the economic environment, they will differ in the legal framework. America's legal framework is different from India's legal framework. Then institutional setup is different and monetary physical policies are different, and also production availability, techniques availability, everything is different from one country to other country. So we have to satisfy all these things, then we can do the international business. Then let us move on to the risk behind, rationale behind the international business. What are all the unequal distribution of natural resources and uneven availability of factors of production? What is the specialization? What is the cost benefit? And what is the difference between the domestic business